Hey there, happy March. Do you participate in middle grade March? Tell me about in the comments below if you do, some of the books you're looking forward to reading. And so I'm doing a video for each of the prompts to help give people some ideas of books that they could read. So the first prompt is just one-word titles. If you don't actually know what middle grade March is, it's just a month where you read middle grade books just for fun. It's a booktube kind of thing that these gals started, and I'll include the link to their channel, Middle Grade March, down below in the description so you can learn more about it. But let's just get right into these one-word titles. Now, some of these that I have, one-word title, it's kind of a loose definition because they might have a subtitle. It's up to you. There's no hard, fast rules about this, all right? Because with my first one, we've got Wilderlore, and I haven't read it yet, but I'm really excited to check it out. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a fantasy adventure. I don't know much about it, but do you know what? Sometimes you pick up a book based on a cover and it looks really good. So let's check it out together and tell me what you think of it. There's always something like a classic, like The Hatchet. And this is just a really fun story of a boy having to survive on his own when he's stranded in the wilderness. And it's a modern classic. It's a wonderful book. Or you could go with Roald Dahl's book called Boy. I haven't read it, but I love Roald Dahl. You could go with Matilda instead. That's a good one-word title. I haven't read it, but it's Roald Dahl, and I love to read Roald Dahl. So let's check out another weird story by Roald Dahl. All right, this is one of my very favorite books that I have ever read. This is called Stargirl. There is a movie on this book, so it'd be a really fun one for you to do together with your kids or with other people where you could read the book and then watch the movie together. Stargirl is a girl who this boy meets at his school, and she is throughout the years kind of gone by different names, and right now she goes by Stargirl. And she runs to the beat of her own drum, and she doesn't care what other people think of her, so it's all about these interactions of this boy and this girl, and then, some of his decisions and things that he says and how they affect Stargirl. It's just such a heartwarming, sweet book. I think you will love it. I know I did. All right, another one of my favorites is Fablehaven by Brandon Mull. It's about these kids that they go to stay with their grandparents, and it turns out that they live on a secret preserve for magical creatures. And so it's just fun and magic and really fast, exciting. There are 5 books in the series as well as a sequel series with 5 more books called Dragonwatch. Ooh, and Dragonwatch right there, another one-word title. All right, so here's another one that has a subtitle, but Nevermoor. I love Morgan Crow. This is such a fun series. There's 3 or 4 out right now, with another book coming out later this year about a girl who is meant to die because she's cursed. And so people always treated her badly and blamed her for all these horrible things that happened to them because they walked past her that day and she's this cursed girl. But then Jupiter North sweeps in and he saves her before she's supposed to die, and he saves her from the hunt of smoke and shadow and takes her to this magical, mysterious place called Nevermoor, and just shows her all of this magic and what she is capable of. And she has to go through these trials to prove herself to join the secret society that he introduces her to. And it's just so much fun. Such a great magical new adventure at a magic school. So Holes, again, a great modern classic, and it's just a really fun story about these boys who they're like on a labor camp and they have to dig these holes, and it turns out that their real intention is that these people want them to find this treasure. And so they're digging these holes to find these treasure, and so you learn the story about the treasure, and it's just really fun. Again, a movie that goes along with it. So one of my very favorite authors is Margaret Peterson Haddix, and so this is called Found, and I think you should just read it without knowing a lot about it because it's a lot of fun that way. This mysterious airplane shows up with all these kids, and so it's their story of where did they come from and why. And it's exciting. I love it. It's a great series. Cornelia Funke is an excellent author, and Inkheart is the first in a series, and it's just this magical land where they're like pulled into this story. And so, gosh, I haven't read it in years. I should jump into this adventure again. It does have a movie that goes way off from what the book is, but sometimes that's kind of fun to watch a movie and see the differences. So a book that's just coming out in February this month is called Unstuck by Barbara D. And it's just a very realistic fiction about a girl who's dreaming up this fantastical story in her head, and she gets this opportunity to enter a writing contest. But then she has writer's block. And so she's trying to get unstuck, and she's got anxiety and these very real life situations that she has to deal with. I really look forward to reading it, and that would be a great one for a one-word title. So many people have heard of Wonder by R.J. Palacio. I don't know if I said that name right. And it is just such a heartwarming story. Again, there's a movie about it, and it's about this boy who has a disfigured face and kids learning to be kind and loving and accepting in his story in this book. Well, RJ has another really exciting book that I'm excited to read called Pony. So these horsemen come in the night and they steal his father away. And so his only companion is a ghost, and then this pony shows up, and so he goes on this adventure on this pony to try to find his father. It sounds exciting and intense, and another just, I trust the author, so let's check it out. The Marvelers is such a fun fantasy read about a school for magic. It has a very unique twist on a school for magic, and there are others in the series coming out. There is a sequel already out, so definitely check out The Marvelers. All right, Frizzy is a graphic novel about a girl with frizzy hair and just learning to love herself, and it just sounds really heartwarming. And if you want a graphic novel, there's this one. And I've got another graphic novel called Duel that is about these two sisters, in fencing. And they have a grudge against each other, and they're trying to prove themselves. So it sounds like another fun graphic novels. There's a couple good graphic novels for you to choose from for the one-word titles right there. All right, Ghost by Jason Reynolds. I've been looking forward to reading this one for a while because I have a son who runs cross country, and he's getting into track this year. And so it's about a boy who has a hard past where his father was chasing him and his mother out of the house with a gun. And so he's been running for a long time and constantly getting himself in trouble and then running from his problems. But now he's got a track coach who sees his potential in being just such a good sprinter. And it's also a story about these other kids who are also runners and sprinters. And so their story of trying to not clash in their different personalities and trying to be the best they can as runners. I love the story of Solimar by Pam Munoz Ryan, and it is just a sweet, you can see that I love fantasy. It's just a really sweet fantasy story. So this girl, she knows this story about these butterflies, and she goes to witness them, and then this magic just wraps her up, and she's trying to, save the legend. I don't know how not to give too much away, but it's really fun that these butterflies just come and they wrap her up in their adventure, and she is trying to save the day for not only her kingdom, but these amazing butterflies who have these amazing magical abilities that, she has this magic now that these butterflies have become a part of her life. All right, so the last one that I have for you is called Freewater, and this just sounds so emotional, so amazing. It's loosely based on the story of these maroon communities that these slaves, the escaped slaves would live in. And so this boy and his sister run to escape the overseer, and they leave their mother behind, and they find this community in a swamp where they join, and they are living amongst a now free people, and some children there are freeborn because they are part of this amazing community, but something is threatening this community. And so this boy trying to save his family and also having an idea of how to save the community. It sounds really exciting. My husband writes and does a lot of history with American history, so actually I've talked to him about the history of these maroon communities, and I really look forward to reading this. Tell me in the comments below, what do you look forward to reading most for the one-word title for Middle Grade March? Are you joining us for Middle Grade March? Can't wait to get in on the fun. If you found value in this video, please take a second to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and come back and keep getting more great book recommendations for the kids in your life. Bye!